Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you this special bulletin. Far be it from me to pass up the opportunity to point and laugh at foolishness, stupidity, and the big uber litigious megacorporation getting slapped down by a judge in one way or another. And hey, we're going to do a couple of those things, specifically with Nintendo, in this little old video. I was thinking about breaking this up into two, but, the first one's pretty, quick, fast, and in a hurry. Guy who streamed pirated Switch games and told Nintendo capitalism is cancer now pays $17,500. This guy was facing $1 million. But wait, he lost to Nintendo. Where are we going with this? Just hang on to your... Just hang on a second. The guy streamed a game before it was released, antagonized Nintendo, and pretty much said, come get some, and Nintendo did. This stupid bastard faced $1 million in potential damages. Luckily enough, only owes Nintendo $17,500. Probably has that sitting in the bank or in his YouTube payout or whatever streaming service he did. But the fun part, let's check out the quote here. Court issues an injunction preventing the defendant from infringing Nintendo's copyright works because, duh, like, what are you doing? Flaunting pirated games? We're not supposed to do that, ladies and gentlemen. Like, really? You're just going to flaunt it, show it off to everybody and go, ha ha, and think you're going to get away with it. But the fun part is right here. Only thing the judge didn't grant, because Nintendo is a bunch of scumbags, their request to confiscate and destroy his tools used to pirate the Switch games. Like, no, you can make him stop, probably make him delete all that everything, but force him to confiscate and destroy. And I believe someone said that those around him, in connection with him, like, you can only go so far. So thankfully, I think I used the really wrong highlight there because you can't see that. Sorry, it's yellow. I'll do better next time. Gallagher called that demand too unclear and unreasonable, given the lack of evidence presented in the lawsuit as to how exactly Keegan had gained access to the games like Mario and Luigi Brothership to stream ahead of the fall release. How can you be so stupid as to stream a game that has not been released yet and then antagonize Nintendo? But that's not all the fun stuff, because a few days ago we got the word that, well, Japan, of all places, Japan, and this is the fun one, this is the juicy one, this is really the more important story, although I think people are celebrating a little bit too much with this one. We'll see why. Japan rejects key Nintendo creature capture patent filing. Could have a huge impact on Palworld lawsuit. And this lawsuit, these patent filings, and Nintendo shills really don't give a toss about anything except sucking Nintendo's. Anyway, this has a massive effect, or has the potential to have a massive effect on the gaming industry as a whole, on genres across the board, what Nintendo is trying. And that's why so many people have a problem with these filings against Palworld. It's not just anti-Palworld, it's anti-gaming, it's anti what's the word I'm looking for? Inventiveness, ingenuity, which, apparently Pokemon just doesn't have any of that. But let's see what this article has to say. Yet another twist in the wild saga that refuses to end. The only way I want this to end is for Nintendo to lose as much money as humanly possible and to go away crying in the corner and let developers do what they want. Patenting a game mechanic is a bad idea. It's terrible for the industry as a whole. It's terrible for the gaming environment and anything moving forward. Japan Patent Office rejected Nintendo patent tied to creature capture mechanics at the core of its lawsuits against Pocket Pair. Indie Studio began the viral hit Palworld that Nintendo did not care about until they realized they had 2 million people playing it at one time. And then it came out on multiple platforms. Or did it come out at multiple platforms at the same time besides Steam? Was that all at once? Y'all correct me in the oh, wait. Was it PlayStation? The PlayStation console was later on after PC. Anyway. Rejected application is part of the broader patent family Nintendo is leaning on to argue the Palworld infringes on its intellectual property. And that is very important because it got rejected. And if something like that can get rejected, the basis that Nintendo is using for this lawsuit, what kind of an effect can that have? The ruling doesn't shut down Nintendo's case in court. Absolutely complicates things. Why? Let's see. What Nintendo was trying to patent. So a little bit of information, because I'm sure every video is somebody's first. They're going after, now the fans, all the Nintendo shills, went after Palworld because, oh my goodness, they were 1-for-1 copies of Nintendo Pokemon. Or Pokemon. Palworld Pals, Pokemon. Calling them 1-to-1 copies, which were debunked over and over and over again. Videos were made claiming that, oh, look, you take this and this, and they were debunked. The guy even came out and said that he did the particular video simply for rage clicks. Intentionally misleading. You want to talk about the inspiration that Pals got from Pokemon? Sure, I can talk about that all day. But you also have to talk about the inspiration that Pokemon got from Dragon Quest. Would you like to continue? I've made a couple of videos on it myself. So many other people have made videos on it. We can go all day. Inspiration is inspiration. The capturing mechanic, the ability to use a creature to glide around, which Palworld took out of the game just in case for now. Hopefully they'll get to put that back in. Riding creatures that they capture. This is not something new or exclusive to Pokemon and Nintendo, which is why the patent was rejected. So what exactly was Nintendo's patent? Basically, the core loop where players catch wild creatures, turn them into controllable allies, and swap rideable companions in real time. Problem was that the Japan Patent Office pointed to multiple games, which is what we've been doing this entire time, ever since this lawsuit started, that did this long before Nintendo's December 2021 priority date, including Monster Hunter 4, Ark Survival Evolved, Kantai Collection, never heard of it, Craftopia, but that's a Nintendo property, don't care. Isn't Craftopia? Is it? Y'all correct me in the comments. Now, Niantic Pokemon Go might not necessarily be a good example because Pokemon is Pokemon is Pokemon, so can you really use that as an example against Nintendo's lawsuit? Now, the other ones, absolutely you can. Short, these mechanics weren't invented by one company, and the industry has been exploring this gameplay space for years. But again, we all know this. Wasn't just one stray filing rejection application sits between other patents Nintendo is using for core, which they're talking about here, the bridge patent. Now cracked, the larger patent family could face tougher scrutiny, which is what is absolutely necessary. Did a video, I believe the U.S. Patent Office just allowed it to go through. I believe they did this with absolutely no scrutiny whatsoever. So hopefully Pocket Pair will be able to... Pocket Pair? The Palworld developer will be able to come in and, I guess, file for a reevaluation on the patent, on everything. Fight back. Face tougher scrutiny, especially after Nintendo already made the unusual move of amending another patent mid-lawsuit. I don't know if that's an unusual move. I've heard a few people talk about that it's normal. They put it through, it gets looked over, rejected, and they have to go and reevaluate in order to resubmit it. Doesn't end the courtroom fight. That's what a lot of people I've seen a few videos saying, "Aha, we won! Nintendo's going down in flames." No, this is the court case. It doesn't end the fight. They're absolutely shifts momentum. Yes, Nintendo's going to go back to their attorneys, their patent attorneys, and figure out a better way to approach this, or they could, shut the hell up and let the industry decide. If you are so intent on controlling the monster capturing industry genre, then maybe you should work instead of putting all that money towards your attorneys and your copyrights and your strikes on channels who are reviewing your games and showing them off to the world. Not talking about the people that pirate them, that's a whole different story and a whole different discussion for everyone to make their own decision on. But if you're just playing the games on your channel. One of the reasons why I will never play a Nintendo game on my channel to stream. Instead of spending that money on attorneys, well, why don't you spend it on, I don't know, maybe increasing the budget of your next Pokemon game so that, I don't know, do the most minuscule of things as adding voice acting in the cutscenes. You might be surprised at how much a little bit more good faith, goodwill you would get from your audience instead of copy here, paste here, add a few arguably atrocious looking Pokemon evolutions, and just call it a day. What's the story? Capture Pokemon, save the city. Okay. Go to the gyms, get your badges, and do it over and over and over again. And the only reason you want to do it over and over again is because we just added 300 or so new Pokemon with silly little names. I'm not disparaging any against the people who enjoy that, because I do enjoy it myself. I play numerous games like that. Played mostly indie games, but when it's the same thing over and over again, why are you giving them money? Just play the originals. Play the ones that got you there. Or maybe Nintendo could respect the people that got them there, their audience, their core audience, and do something, I don't know, put a little more money towards your game. I digress. The bigger picture, and here's where it's so important. This says, a genre, not a monopoly. Creature collection gameplay has been around for decades, from Dragon Quest monsters to World of Final Fantasy and beyond. While Pokemon may have popularized the formula, it didn't invent the concept of collecting creatures, leveling companions, and building teams. I mean, the whole simple idea of leveling companions and building teams has been around in any sort of tabletop, any sort of RPG. You grind and grind and grind and see what creature you're going to get next. It's been around for quite some time. People love it. It's the reason, it's the core reason why games like Pokemon and Digimon make so much money and have such a massive fan base. And why other games like Temtem and Palworld are trying to get in on the act, but Palworld took it a step further and added some Ark Survival into there. Give you some creature building, some base building. Send your creatures out to gather resources. They added a little bit extra, something Pokemon and Nintendo could have done long time ago. There are so much of the fan base giving Nintendo ideas on what they could do to simply print money, even though, you know, with such a low budget, what is it, Legend ZA, it made money. There is no denying that. I can criticize it all day long. Hours upon hours of videos out there criticizing the graphics, the simplicity of it all, but it made so much money. It was a massive success. Can't deny that. I can still have an opinion on how shit it looks, but the idea, if Nintendo succeeds, if the Pokemon Company succeeds and wins this lawsuit, it will have such a massively detrimental effect on the genre of creature capturing and the gaming industry as a whole. Ultimately, that's just, this lawsuit needs to fail. If you disagree with that, I'm going to point and laugh and make fun of you and call you nothing more than a Nintendo shill. I may even call you Harmon Smith. But let me know what you think in the comments section down below. Leave a like, leave a dislike, do all the nifty little things that YouTube is begging you to do. And I hope to see you on the next one.